Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Hello, my spiritual besties, and welcome back to another episode of the JP podcast. It's me, Jess Paul, your host, your manifestation mentor, spiritual bestie, self-development queen, actress, all the things, here to help you manifest your next level life and all the juicy things. Guys, I just am loving all of the shares that you're putting over on social media. It's so nice to see who's listening, tuning in every day. Lots of you've been saying like this podcast is part of your morning routine where you stick it in and you just have all the juicy inspiration in the morning, which I love. So make sure to keep sharing because I just love to see all of you guys inside this community. And I've been getting to know some new faces as well inside the community because I actually put a poll up the other day on my Instagram story, and that was to just find out a little bit more about what you guys want to hear about on the podcast. And so today, I'm very excited about today's episode because we're going back to basics, guys. We are going all the way back to the basics of manifestation and what manifestation is and what the law of attraction is. Because I think that sometimes people get these two things, they go hand in hand, but they are different concepts. They are like entirely different concepts. And so I want to dive into today's episode exactly what manifestation actually is and what the law of attraction is and how we can use the law of attraction to help us manifest. Because actually as well, like I was on someone's podcast interview the other day and they were like, oh, actually tell us about manifestation because everybody does think it's a bit woo-woo. And I'm actually going to go into today how actually manifestation isn't woo-woo at all. The law of attraction, on the other hand, some people might think, oh, that's like too spiritual for me or too weird for me to understand. But I'm going to go into the science behind that as well. So this is going to be a really juicy episode. We are going back to basics. So for those of you that know the ins and outs of manifestation, like this is still a great episode to keep re-listening back to because it just reminds us, it grounds us, it reminds us of what we're actually doing, what we're working with, and how we can make it work for us. So very, very excited to dive in. Before we do though, my sponsor for the week is, of course, the masterclass that I brought out. So this masterclass, we're going live on the 27th, guys. This is the Becoming Superhuman masterclass, which I mentioned in my last episode. And this is a masterclass that I brought out after coming out of hospital, after going through quite a traumatic experience in hospital about a month ago now, guys. And it just reminded me of like how I truly think now as a person, as a human, and like how I used to think only 3 years ago is entirely different. And there's certain mindset traits that I live by now that keep me moving forward, right? That keep my energy sped up, that keeps me constantly manifesting and be like, in all honesty, like this is why I became a teacher. This is why I, became a manifestation mentor because it's such a part of my life now. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to bring out another masterclass to teach you guys some of the like main things, the main secrets that I use to keep me moving forward in any times of my life. Like those times of adversity, those times of big adversity where you're like really set back or feeling really shit, but also those times when you're just having those little bumps in the road and how to keep moving forward and how to keep your vibration strong and sped up. And it's been so freaking long since I've done a masterclass and I love getting in there live with you guys. So if you haven't, go ahead and sign up. The links will be in my show notes. And for those of you that have signed up, can't wait to see you guys there. like I said, this is going to be taught live, but if you can't make it live, then you can still purchase it now before the prices go up, and you will be able to receive the full download. You'll also be able to ask your questions inside the community for them to be answered on the live Q&A on the call. So you're getting all of the juiciness involved, even if you can't make it live with us. So I'll see you guys there. And if you got any more questions, then just drop me a DM over on Instagram. I'm always happy to answer any of your messages over there. The links will be in the show notes. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the 27th. So then, guys, a little life update. I've just been manifesting all the things since really getting back into alignment again after coming out of hospital. I said last week on last week's episode that I spent a good 2 days purely getting back into alignment, doing all the things I needed to do to raise my vibration again, because I had some big energy dips since coming out of hospital. And I created a new vision board. I got really intentional again about where I was headed, about what my vision actually was. And I said that on last week's episode that I had already manifested a brand collaboration, which I had been, wanting to explore more and go into. And those have just been coming in thick and fast, guys. I've just been receiving so many emails from different brands asking to collaborate, saying that they found me over TikTok. And it's just been great because, again, like I said in last week's episode, the universe doesn't hand you these things unless you are ready for them. And I feel I've just got this big feeling that I am so ready for these people to come in and to make these collaborations and to go one step further with my following and my community and all of that. So it's been really exciting. And the other manifestation that literally flew in straight after recording last week's episode was within my acting career. So I actually bagged another commercial, guys. I'm going to be back on the TV doing my thing. It's really funny because the last ad that I filmed, so many of you guys have just been dropping me messages I've just seen your face on a big billboard, or, taking screenshots and being I've just seen your face on the internet. And again, it just reminds me so much of how the dreams really have come into fruition for me. And it's really, really freaking exciting. So I'm going to be back doing my thing. And again, that came in pretty much straight after this vision and really getting intentional about my acting career again, which was just great. And not only that, but it's a big fat paycheck. So manifesting the money, which we all love. So they're the manifestations that have come in. But equally, guys, I will be honest with you, because there's no bullshitting going on around here in the JP community. These manifestations have come in and it sounds like a highlight reel. But what I am going to say to you is that I've still been having the dips, right? I've still been experiencing these energy dips. In fact, it's been on a really kind of chemical level for me. It's not necessarily been anything that I've been kind of telling myself, or, it's not really any shadows that are really coming up. I mean, shadows are surfacing for me, but that's not the reason my vibration has been lowered. It's because, honestly, it's just a chemical level since coming out of hospital. And so some days I'll wake up and I'll feel that depressed feeling. I'll feel heaviness on my chest. And some days I'll wake up and I'll feel kind of anxiety, that, fluttery feeling in your chest. And it's really all coming from what I went through. And it's okay. I'm moving through it with everything that I do. This is why I do what I do, and we don't need to let these dips dictate our life, right? We don't need to let these weird wobbly moments in our life dictate what we manifest or how successful we are, because we all go through it, right? We're human. We have these human experiences. It's okay. We can still be highly, highly successful, which I'm proving to you guys. You can still manifest through these times, okay? And, not only this, guys, we are also astrologically going through some weird energy times at the moment. We've just come out of Mercury retrograde. We're now in Saturn retrograde, which just basically means everything is just going to feel like hard work, energy-wise. So if you are feeling a bit wobbly, if you are feeling a bit just not quite with it, bit it's feeling like hard work right now, that'll be why. And if you guys don't know a lot about astrology, or if you want to dive deeper into it, I have got the juiciest episode on the way for you guys. We have got an amazing astrologer coming on, and we dive in deep on all these things, the science behind astrology, all of that. So definitely you'll be wanting to stay tuned for that. But yeah, basically, guys, energies have been weird. I've been feeling the dips, but I've been moving through. And one thing that's been really helping me has actually been balancing out my masculine and feminine energy, but in an even greater way than I ever have done before. Like, I found the perfect balance, and I think I'm going to do a whole episode on masculine and feminine energies, what they actually are. For those of you that don't know what they are, like, I'll go in on that, and how a balance between these two energies is freaking key to becoming a consistent human being, right? And I've just found like this real balance between the two energies since coming out of hospital, because naturally I am more of a masculine human, and in a healthy way. Like, I just love doing the thing, which is why I also see so many results. And like some days, like, I can just go, and then have my feminine time in the evening. And that's just how I roll. And that's like my flow, and I love it, right? But honestly, since coming out of hospital, I have just not felt like doing the thing, right? I've just had no freaking motivation. I've not felt like doing it. I've not felt like doing anything. And of course, in life, there are certain priorities that we do need to have, right? We do need to do, right? And so I've been finding this perfect balance of like segmenting out, like literally like an hour of feminine, an hour of masculine, an hour of feminine, an hour of masculine, all the way through my day. And it has been a freaking game changer. So I think I want to go into a full episode on this, because I think it'll help a lot of you guys out that ever suffer with overwhelm, ever suffer with feeling like you can't get everything done in a day, or ever suffer from like a lack of motivation, right? Being able to balance out these energies is key. And that's what I've been doing, guys, this whole few weeks, over a month since coming out of hospital. And it's honestly been the reason that I've managed to manifest, I've managed to stay consistent, I've managed to keep my vibration at the level it is, and call in what I've called in. So that was a bit of a ramble for my life update. I'm actually going to get into today's episode now, and it's going to explain a few things about this alignment and everything like that. So without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. So back to basics then, guys. What is manifestation? What is the law of attraction? So I wanted to do this episode because, like I said before, I did a poll on my Instagram story, and a lot of you were like, oh, I've actually just come across this, or I've just come across you, or like, one of your videos I've seen on TikTok and now I'm following you. So what's this all about, right? And so I wanted to do an episode that kind of explained a little bit more about what this process actually is, why I teach it, why we make this a whole part of our life, and how it can make us be more successful human beings, right? And one of the things that tends to happen when we talk about manifestation, or like when I've seen people talk about manifestation online, is that sometimes they can like merge the law of attraction into manifestation, and like it's all like the same thing. But actually I'm going to like explain the differences between manifestation and law of attraction. When I talk about manifestation, right, I don't just talk about the law of attraction with this, because there are 12 immutable laws of the universe which we work with, right, in life. And all of these laws contribute to creating the life of your dreams, right? But manifestation, okay, if we're just going to focus on manifestation right now, literally just means taking something non-physical. So by that, I mean your imagination, a dream you have, like a vision that you see in your mind, and making it physical, right? So taking that non-physical imagination that you're just seeing in your mind and making it a tangible, physical, 3D thing in this world, okay? So quite literally, like if we're just going to put it really simply, manifestation just means achieving your goals, right? It just means achieving goals, making things happen, right? Things that show up in your life, right? And so actually in life, guys, we are always manifesting. There's manifestations everywhere. This isn't like a woo-woo topic. This isn't like a dead spiritual topic. This is just like happens all the freaking time. Like, I wake up in the morning and I make my morning coffee. That's a manifestation. I've just made a coffee. It's manifested in front of me. It's there, right? Or I, sit down to record my podcast and then I upload it onto my podcast site. That's a manifestation. I've just manifested my podcast episode, right? So really, manifestation just means putting your vision into this 3D world, okay? Actually, so that you can see it in front of you. And so whenever anybody kind of says to me, oh, manifestation, oh, that's all a bit woo-woo, what are you teaching? Because, some people that have known me in my life that knew the old version of me, old Jess, bless her soul. Those people that knew the old me, and they're like, what are you preaching about? Like, what's all this stuff? Like, this is weird. Like, what are you talking about? All this universe stuff, right? Actually, manifestation is not spiritual. It's not woo-woo. It's not all universey stuff that you can't comprehend. It's just a freaking physical thing that happens every single day. And so what I'm really helping you guys to do, really in a very, very simple roundabout way, is achieve your goals. Like, basically achieve the things that you set out to do so that they're all showing up in your physical world, because we live in a 3D world. So we're meant to enjoy them in this 3D world, right? So when I talk about manifesting career opportunities and manifesting relationships and manifesting money and manifesting these things, I just mean creating them so that they show up, so that we can see them physically, okay? That's the process of manifestation. Now, how we do that, right? How we actually manifest, there's a whole step process that I teach in this. And that's really what I lead all of my students by. I've got a whole freaking academy, which, my Mindset Miracles and Manifestation Academy, which teaches you the ins and outs of how to create these things, how these things do really show up in your life, right? Because if we're always manifesting things, then surely, we can actually start to take control and go, okay, well, I can choose what I manifest then. I can choose what I show up in my life, right? I can choose what shows up. And that's really the first step, is just believing that you are in control of what's showing up in your life. You're in control of that. However much it might feel like you're out of control, you always have a say over what you manifest, okay? And so, like I said, I've got this whole process that helps you to do that. And there's a lot in there. There's, shadow work, belief coding, all of these things, right? And actually, I'll do a whole episode on that step process at some point down the line. But the law of attraction then, if we talk about the difference between manifestation and the law of attraction, basically, we use the law of attraction in this manifestation process. So manifestation means creating a vision, making that a physical thing, making something non-physical, physical, right? In order to do that, we can use the law of attraction. And this is, as I say, only one of the 12 immutable laws of the universe, but it's probably the most widely spoken about one. It's probably the one that most people focus on, because it's damn powerful, right? It's really freaking powerful law of the universe. So this is where we start to move into woo-woo territory, for those people that are no, I don't believe in the law of attraction. It's all a load of BS. And really that's only because you can't, but what we're doing here is we're comprehending something that we can't see, right? Because this is all working on a vibrational level. So whereas manifestation is all very physical, it's all about action taking, it's all about things physically showing up so that you can see them, right? The law of attraction is about what's going on vibrationally. So the basic principle here is that like vibration attracts like vibration. So if you're feeling excited, then you're going to attract things into your life that make you feel more excitement. Or if you're feeling anxious, then you're going to attract things into your life that make you feel more anxious, and so on and so on. So we're always bouncing off vibration, guys. We're all vibrational beings. You're emitting a vibrational frequency right now. I am. This table is. This podcast microphone is. Everything is emitting a frequency. And if we want to attract something into our life, we have to match that frequency. Okay. So just in the same way that, I'm speaking and you're listening to me, that's a vibration that you are comprehending. And when you see something, that's a vibration. When you smell something, when you taste something, they're all vibrations that you're translating and understanding. And so the law of attraction is just basically that. It's another vibration that is translating into something else. It's just like gravity, right? We can't see gravity happening in front of us, but we know that it exists. And it's the same thing with these laws of the universe. So the reason that we use the law of attraction specifically as one of the ways to help us manifest is because it helps us get into the frequency of what we want, right? And when we're in the frequency of what we want, we are one step closer to getting it. Okay, so we might not have it yet. It might not be in our physical reality, right? We might not have manifested it, but if we're on the same frequency as it, then we're a damn step closer than if we weren't, right? And by frequency, I literally mean how you feel. So if you are feeling the same way that you would if you had your desire right now, if you had that money, if you had that career success, if you had that relationship of your dreams, if you're feeling the way you would with those things, then you are one step closer to manifesting it. But of course, this is where most people trip up on, and this is really what I'm helping teach people to do, because most of the time we're not in the frequency of what we want. That's why we don't have it. Because if we were, we would have it within the law of attraction, right? So much of this process is being able to work on yourself, work on how you feel so that you're feeling good, so that you're matching these frequencies to pull in what you want. So just as an example again, guys, right? If you think of manifesting that morning coffee, like I said before, me waking up, getting out of bed, putting the kettle on, putting the coffee in, voila, there is the coffee in front of me, okay? Doesn't seem like a hard process. I walked into that process excited for my coffee, eager for my coffee, tasting the coffee in my mouth before I'd even made it, being like, yes, I cannot wait. It was really freaking easy because the kettle was right there. I could just turn it on really easily, right? You see where I'm going here, guys? It's a really fucking easy process. So there was not one point that I thought in that moment, oh my God, like I'm never going to be able to make my morning coffee. Oh my gosh, this is just a nightmare. I'm never going to have this. I can't even visualize what my coffee would be like. This is awful, right? Can you see like the difference in frequency there? So I was able to be in the frequency of my morning coffee. I was able to take the action to make my morning coffee, and therefore the morning coffee manifested really freaking easily. Now, I'm using that as an example because that's something that we don't think about as a manifestation, but it is one. So let's take our morning coffee now and think about £1 million in the bank account. Or let's think about that Netflix job that you really want. Or let's think about that dream relationship that you've been craving, right? Those things. Do they feel as easy to do, right? And you just got to be honest with yourself. Do they feel as easy to do? Are you actually vibrating at the frequency of those things? And this is where we master the law of attraction to get into the same frequency as these desires that feel like they're out of your reach. Making a morning coffee doesn't feel like it's out of your reach. These other things might do. And that's why we want to master this vibration so that we're already vibrating at the frequency of our desire, so that when it comes to all the other bits in the manifestation process, the action taking, the belief coding, the miracle side of things, all of that combined, it's really easy process. So this is why the law of attraction is used so highly within the manifestation process. And honestly, guys, when you do master the law of attraction in the manifestation process, this is truly what makes you magnetic. Just like a magnet, one magnet is attracted and pulled towards another magnet. This is what you can become to your desires, to other people, to whatever it is that you want to manifest, right? Like an example I've used before is that if you're in a room with two people that are kind of like both equally confident, talking, chatting, being like the main person in the room, But one of those people you are really, really repelled by. You're just like, oh my God, you're so cocky. Like that word, you just like arrogant, like, ew, get away from me, right? But the other person who's kind of displaying all of the same qualities in confidence-wise as that person, you're so freaking drawn to. Like, ever think, guys, if you've ever been to a social gathering or a party and you've just been really drawn to this one person, you know, and you're just like, I don't know why I'm so drawn to you, but I just want to be around you. I just want to, you know, chat to you. I want to, you know, be near you, right? So there's another person displaying the same qualities, but you're really drawn to them. That's because, guys, vibration does not lie. So like I was saying before, this is a concept that we can't see, right? This law is something we can't see, just like gravity, we can't see it. But it is a law, and it's operating in a way that we can feel. So like if you're in a room with these two people, basically what's happening is one person is physically displaying the same qualities as another person, but underneath, vibrationally, they're both vibrating at completely different frequencies. The person you're repelled by is vibrating at a really low frequency. The person that you're attracted to is vibrating at a really high frequency. And now, guys, like, this is a really good example, because if you look around at your life right now and look at the friends or the people that are in your life right now, okay, this is like probably the best example to use. If you in your life right now are surrounded by, let's say, people that complain a lot, people that bitch a lot, people that are just constantly dragging you down, people that just don't feel good to be around, that's actually saying something about your vibration, okay? Because we attract in what we are, right? We attract in who we are. So if you're looking around at your life and you're looking at these negative things, it's telling you, it's like letting you know where your point of attraction is. And this is where I can start to get a bit more like take you through some more actionable steps and give you some homework, guys. Because so Abraham Hicks, if you haven't heard of Abraham Hicks, there's a lady called Esther Hicks, and she basically channels spiritual entities. That's essentially what she's doing. You can go and Google on YouTube. And she talks about this thing about within the law of attraction, about your point of attraction. And by point of attraction, that's just basically your frequency, what I was saying before, like where you're vibrating at. And if we know where we're vibrating at, then we can then use that to master this and help us in the manifestation process. So if you look around at your life and you see all of these negative people in your life, friends that are just dragging you down, you're thinking, why is everybody complaining? Why is everybody bitching? It's telling you that your point of attraction is probably vibrating at that frequency, right? Which we clearly don't want you to be at. So the way that we figure out our point of attraction, guys, is through the way that we feel. It's through our mood, right? If you are feeling like shit, you are probably at a frequency of shit, right? Don't let that dishearten you, though, because like I was just saying before, you can still go through energetic dips and still manifest the life of your dreams. You are 100% in control. That's what you need to remember here. But this is going to be a really good indicator for you. So basically, your homework, what I want you to do is I want you to have a look around at your life. And I want you to think, right, how do I feel first and foremost? What am I actually feeling right now? Like, am I feeling good or am I feeling like shit? Or am I feeling just a little bit meh, just a little bit bored, just a little bit like nothingness? Because that's also going to be attracting in meh. You know, that's the same frequency. So you really want to look at your life and think about that. And look around and see what's already manifested in your life, because that's another direct indicator of your point of attraction. It's a direct indicator of where your frequency currently is. For me, I know my frequency is in a good place because I'm manifesting acting jobs, I'm manifesting brand collaborations, I'm manifesting all sorts, right? That's because I've managed to get my frequency to a point of consistency. Do I have energetic dips? Yes. Do I have moments where I'm crying on my bedroom floor? Yes. Human experiences, guys, we all have them. But if you are consistently in the vibration of meh, or like, I say that like, you know, basically just boredom, or you're consistently in the vibration of like feeling depressed or whatever it is, then you're going to just build momentum in that area, and that is what you're going to attract. So figure out your point of attraction where it is right now in relation to your goals, guys. Because like I was saying before, my point of attraction when I think about making a morning coffee is absolutely fine. Don't have any problems there. No issues with my attraction there, right? But my point of attraction, if I think about manifesting £1 million, that might be slightly different, okay? So think about where your point of attraction is in relation to your goals. And once you've figured that out, guys, do the energy work to get yourself into the frequency of your desire, right? Do the energy work to help you master the law of attraction. And then all of the other things around manifesting, which is obviously what I teach. Like I said, why I've got a whole academy on this, okay? Because if you really do want to manifest these exciting things into your life, then this is what it requires, right? It requires you to do the energy work around it, the belief work, the shadow work, all the things that I've said before, which I can explain in more detail. I can explain my step process to manifestation in a different episode, but this is why I've had students join my academy, because it's not just, journaling out and writing a few affirmations to manifest things into your life. If you really want to see the money in your bank account, if you really want to see the acting jobs come in, or the relationship or whatever it is you want come in and show up in your physical reality, then you've got to do both, guys, right? You've got to do the energy work and you've got to take the freaking action. So there's a lot that goes on in the process, but actually, if we want to put things really simply, first feel good, then do the thing, right? That's as simple as I can put it. But this is why, if you know you're not feeling good around a certain goal, if you know you're not feeling confident and secure and excited, well, you might feel excited, but if you're still kind of, feeling like it's not possible for you and all these things around a certain goal, then it's not going to be attainable for you. And this is where you have to do the inner work. So when I talk about inner work, this is what I mean. And this is the whole process of what I teach my students and my clients. So if you have been loving this episode and you're ready to just dive in deeper to it, because this is how I felt when I first discovered manifestation and the laws of the universe and how to use the law of attraction and all these things. When I first discovered it, I was just so excited to get stuck in, right? And just learn everything I possibly could, which is why I've created this podcast in the first place, because I want it to be a space where you can feel like you're learning all these things. But equally, get yourself stuck in on these things, on the things I bring out, the new masterclass that I brought out. Get yourself stuck in there. If you are interested in the academy, get yourself in on the academy. Take the risks, take the leaps, like I was talking about in my last episode about big change. Do the thing to educate yourself on this if you really want to see change. And even for those of you that are ready for another up level, those of you that have done the groundwork, I've had one of my clients, she's been working with me for 2 years. Because she's invested in every single one of the programs I've done. And she has gone above and beyond in terms of this one-on-one coaching as well. Because, if you want to take it one step further, if you want that accountability, if you want that mindset help with all of this consistent manifesting, right? Then that's what you can do. That's available for you. It's out there, right? And it's what I do, and it's what I continue to do my whole life. I'm always learning, I'm always growing, I'm always expanding. And that is another reason why I can sit here today and say that the manifestations come in so damn consistently for me. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you're loving it, then please do share it on Instagram, give me a little tag over there, because I love seeing them. It lights me up. Keep sending in your reviews, because they're so lovely to read, and all your ratings and everything. And share it with a friend. If you think a friend needs to hear this episode, because this episode really just goes in on exactly what manifestation is versus the law of attraction and how we use it, back to basics, then if you've got a friend that you think would benefit from this, send them over this episode as a little gift. And just stay tuned, guys. Stay inside my community. Keep asking your questions. Keep being curious. Join in on the classes and the offers that I bring out. And we're going to be bringing on more and more juiciness onto this podcast. I mean, we're only just getting started, guys. So I'm sending you so much love. Let me know if you've got any more questions, and I'll chat to you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.